Smiling Sam cooked this man. I actually responded to him. I said, yeah, I'm cutting down. Whatever weight class Matt Brown's in, I'm coming for you, Matt Brown. So Matt Brown, he shot me with a straight. I don't think he was aiming at me, but it hit. Damn. All right, his quote: "You have to do something extraordinary. Longevity is an extraordinary feat. It's not like Sam Alvey longevity. You're doing something extraordinary. It's extraordinary. Not to toot my own horn, but be there for 15 years, that's fucking extraordinary feat." I love DC too. I'm not bad-mouthing him. No, he's bad-mouthing me. He's not bad-mouthing him. He's entitled to his own opinion. But if your criteria is going to be that you have to be champion to get in that's going to exclude a lot of guys that probably deserve to get in. What the hell? I had 24 fights in the organization. Yes, I did not win the last 8. God, it sounds bad saying. But if you watch them, I won probably 4 or 5 of them. And more than that, I was a draw. Do you think the UFC is just going to throw money away on somebody? No, I was a draw. Now, am I as big a draw as Matt Brown or Jim Miller? And by the way, he was talking about Jim Miller. Or Jim Miller or Daniel Cormier. No, of course not. I never claimed to be. I don't get paid to be. But I was a draw. People tuned in to watch me. I got a lot of bad decisions. I stepped up, did a lot. God, I did a lot. Most of those last 8 fights were on very short notice. Were on like a week's notice. And then I complain all day. I still feel like I won some. But anyways, I want to read you some of the comments, guys. Charlie Quinn Media says, "Poor Sam Alvey, getting torched for no reason." Yeah, no reason. I'm just sitting here minding my own business. Let's see. Seo Jun Young. "Damn, that's Sam Alvey diss. Out of nowhere, Matt Brown. I liked you." I still like you. You're still fun to watch. You old teaser. Asking Matt Brown, "LOL, Sam Alvey caught a straight." I freaking did. I had nothing to do with the conversation. And by the way, I am pro Jim Miller getting in there because longevity is a feat and a half to have. It's a huge monument what Jim Miller has done. Matt. Smiling Sam is reading this like with the emoji. I started reading this and I had no idea what he was gonna say. Oh, damn. So we've got Sam Alvey just got knocked out from this post. Poor guy. And someone comments, Topez Z20. The streak continues. I broke that streak. I won my last fight. Dominant victory. TKO win at heavyweight. Undefeated at heavyweight. Yeah, undefeated at heavyweight. Let's see. Idiotic. DC, you are wrong. DC, Jim Miller belongs in the UFC. Or belongs in the UFC Hall of Fame. It's that you think he doesn't is saying something. Just saw Sam Alvey fall to his knees in Walmart. I wasn't in Walmart, but I did fall to my knees. God, man. I think the problem is, where do we draw the line? I've said this before, but for all sports, the criteria for Hall of Fame needs to be a lot harder to get in the NBA and NFL just by letting anyone into the Hall of Fame. Yeah, but what Jim Miller has done is he has set the record, the most fights in UFC-dom. He's at 43 or something, and he's still winning. It's incredible. Did you know most fighters that have ever fought in the UFC don't make it to their second contract? It just doesn't happen. And Jim Miller's on, I don't know, his 14th or 15th or 16th, their 22nd contract. Smiling Sam cooked this man. I actually responded to him. I said, yeah, I'm cutting down. Whatever weight class Matt Brown's in, I'm coming for you, Matt Brown. What was he, 55, 70? Somewhere in there. He's one of them little guys. All right, Benny _Blanco _1989. This dude is always throwing someone under the bus. He wins 2 out of 5 fights. I don't know how he has brain cells. Now that's to get a little personal, a little meaner than I'm willing to go. Damn you, Matt Brown, throwing me under the bus like that. I'm just sitting here minding my own business. I read the post. I'm going to my garage. By the way, this is my new studio. It looks pretty good, doesn't it? I'm gonna get some stuff here. Got more photos. I got the photos coming. I just need to buy the frames. Frames are expensive, and I don't want to spend all that much money. So I'm watching. Let's see what else have we got. But I mean, longevity beating cans, I don't know, man. Stuck in the middle here. See, I disagree. But it's the UFC, there are very few cans. CM Punk was a can. Michael Jackson, he was a can. That was really about the only cans I can think of. Maybe some of the girls, maybe, but I couldn't name them. You're in the UFC, you're not a can. All right, here's a good one. Let's see. Smokin' Zoe Frazier. It's not, and I agree with this, it's not being around for a long time. He literally has the most wins in UFC history. It's true. That will probably never be beaten. No, probably not. Oliveira has a shot at beating that record, but more likely than not, nobody's ever going to beat Jim Miller's record. It would be like if the leading touchdown passer in NFL history had never won a Super Bowl and the people said he shouldn't get in. That's a good comparison. What you don't understand about the UFC is the level of competition that is in there. You're not just fighting people that say they're fighters. You are fighting the best fighters on the planet. So losing, there's no shame in losing to a UFC fighter because they are all studs. The worst one in the world. And maybe some of y'all out there think I am. I wasn't. But maybe some of y'all think. Still, I have beaten some of the best. And the people that beat me were only the best in the world. It is what it is. I'm upset with what my streak was and that particular record. But I still put on entertaining fights. I had a great time doing it. I was not often TKO'd. Although I was. In the last 8, I think it was like 3 times, but it was over a span, and they were stopped early. No, it's damn you, Mark Goddard. The worst ref in the UFC. Let's see. Shouldn't be a thing. Jim Miller's 100% deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. He does. I can't. When I read what DC said about it, said longevity. No. If you could be in the UFC for as long as Jim Miller was in the UFC, you'd still be in the UFC. You'd still be doing that. But you didn't want to for whatever reason. Life happens. It's hard to stay as motivated as you have to, as talented as you have to, as skilled as you have to. It's hard to keep the dedication needed to train yourself, to watch your diet, to do everything you can to remain in the UFC like Jim Miller has. He is one of the greats. What he has done will likely never be duplicated. That is the record I always wanted. I got a lot. I got 25 fights in the UFC, but I always wanted the most fights in the UFC, and I knew I was a long ways from it. And maybe someday I'm gonna get back in that cage. I won my last one, TKO, heavyweight, undefeated heavyweight. Francis Ngannou's scared. Don't tell him. And I'm gonna get back in there. I'm gonna take that record from him. You heard it here first. Let's see what else have we got. It's super tough. He hasn't beaten anyone great besides Oliveira, but his longevity. Now that is true. I mean, he hasn't beaten championship level guys except Oliveira, but he beat Oliveira. he beat Oliveira, who has beaten everybody else, everyone except Islam. And Oliveira might get it back. I'm interested in the fight. I wanted to see Beneil Dariush fight Islam, but I'm tuning in for Oliveira. I'm not betting against that man ever again. Oh, Sam Alvidis. Somebody tell DC it's the Hall of Fame, not the Hall of Champions. That's a good point. It is the Hall of Fame. It's people that have done extraordinary things in their career in the UFC. Cowboy Cerrone is in the Hall of Fame, or if he's not, I think he is. He will be if he's not. He's been mentioned. He has done something in the sport. It can't be a Hall of Champions. Otherwise, what champions are you going to have? You'll have like GSP, maybe John Jones, and that would be about it because they've done something exceptional. Otherwise, they're just champions. So it can't be just that. It has to have a new level. Oliveira should be there. He was a champion, but just his submission count alone. There's no talk of it, but I'm going to talk about it. Gerald Meerschaert, he's a middleweight in the UFC. He has a lot of fights, actually. He set the middleweight record for most submissions. I think he has 10 or 11. It's an incredible record. He and I were 1-1. We fought twice. I've only lost 1 round to him in 2 different fights, but it is what it is. Gerald Meerschaert, there's talk. Maybe he should get notable mention for all of those submissions. It's incredible what he has done against some of the best in the world. See what else have we have? Bro, leave Sam alone. Thank you, Baden Jowers. Leave Sam alone. Hashtag. Let's see. Hall of Fame. DC really effed the pooch on this one. It doesn't say F, but I feel like I should. I feel like I should not cuss. Anyways, that's my post, guys. Matt Brown, if you see him, yell at him for me. Or tweet at him. I don't know. He probably didn't mean anything. Matt Brown, I've been a fan for so long. You got to throw me under the bus like that. What the hell? Hey, love you, fellas. Love you, fellow readers. Have a good night. I'm interviewing Sean Strickland today, so if you have anything, put it in the comments.